Hey guys, I hope you are doing well. I just wanted to check in. I've sent some of these things out through Remind, but I felt like it would be easier to put this in a video so you can pause me if you need to follow the instructions or whatever it is you need to do. I just thought this would be an easier way for me to go over all the things that we're going to be doing in the coming weeks. So first and foremost, Wake County's instructions to teachers at this point is that we are not supposed to assign any work that will be counted as a grade, and that we're supposed to focus on remedial activities. However, since AP announced their decision to change AP testing formats this year, and the fact that 2 of the units that you guys are going to be tested on in a matter of weeks, we've not gone over. I did get permission to open up some new assignments for you guys that do cover new content and go ahead and make those available to you so that you can start going through those assignments on your own. Obviously, this is not an ideal situation, but I felt like this would be a format that would allow the most flexibility for you guys, that if you are able and want to go ahead and start working on these assignments, you can. This way I can also see your progress. And then if you have any questions, obviously we can use Remind or email to communicate. But I think what we're going to do, so I've created a list for Unit 4 at this point of assignments that need to be completed through Khan Academy and your nightly readings and nightly reading questions. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use that list whether we're in school or not in school. And so I'm going to create through Google Classroom a place for you to turn in your Unit 4 nightly reading questions. And then, of course, all the assignments through Khan Academy, you turn in through Khan Academy. So, if we were to go back to school following spring break, the first day that I saw you guys, I would give you this list and we would start working through this list. I don't know that we're going back to school then. I don't know how much time we'll have. So I'm going to go ahead and give you this list now so that those of you who are interested and able can go ahead and start working on it. Now, if you get all of this done and we come back to school and some kids haven't even started on it, then you would be given additional enrichment assignments. Obviously, I know this is a crazy time. Ideally, you could go ahead and start working on these assignments. That would be ideal if people could do that. If you can't, please let me know so that, if you need a laptop, if you need internet access, if you need whatever you may need, the county has resources. And so I can reach out to people to try to get things set up for you. So I want you guys to be open and honest with me. If this doesn't work for you, please let me know. If it does work for you, awesome. Hopefully you can go ahead and start working on some of this stuff. So anyways, this is your to-do list of what you should be doing. If you have not joined Google Classroom, I think all but 4 of you have at this point. You should have an invitation in your email. Check both your school email and your personal email. I think some of you may have even gotten multiple invitations to join in. And all 4 of these individuals that have not joined are in 3rd block. So if you've not joined by Monday, I'm going to just assume that you're not getting my communications. And so I'll call parents just to make sure that you know what's going on, because I don't want you to miss out on these opportunities to go ahead and get started on stuff if you're able to do so. So if you haven't joined Google Classroom, please go ahead and do so. Secondly, you should have joined Khan Academy. Some of you, I tried to import the list from Google Classroom, and so some of you jumped in automatically, but it was a minority of students. And so the rest of you, I tried to send an email through your invitation, or an invitation through your email. So check your email, again, both personal and school. If there is no invitation for Khan Academy, then these are the codes you can use. So you can go to Khan Academy, to that website, and type in this code. Make sure you type in the code that's the one for your class, and then you should be able to join Khan Academy that way. Once you are enrolled in the course, then there's going to be a bunch of assignments that pop up, and it's going to look overwhelming. But some of those assignments are things like 3-minute videos. So some of them are shorter. I have, for Unit 4, I've made a huge long list. I'm going to show you that in a second, of all the things that need to be done. The majority of those are through Khan Academy. But I did calculate how much time I think it would take for you to complete all the things I'm asking you to do. And it should take about 14 hours at a minimum. I know that's a lot, but that's about a week and a half of class time, which, I think Unit 4 normally takes us almost a month in class. So if we can condense this to just 14 hours, Sorry, my cat wanted to come in the room. I think that would be something that's doable. So, yeah, I've estimated that it'll take about 14 hours. And then I even put on each part of the assignment how long I think it will take you to do it. So if you have like 30 minutes, that you want to work on something, see what you can get done in that time. So on that list, I've also included your nightly reading questions, and I've put them in order of when they should be done. And that's how I envision seeing it being done. So that checklist is on my Google Classrooms page. Let's see if I can show you that. So on Google Classroom, it should be the most recent thing that's there, unless you do this after Monday. I may have put a note in on Monday morning, but it's there. You click on that, and it brings up this Google Doc. So I've listed the estimated times. If you were to pause these videos to take notes, which I do recommend you do, just like a lecture in class, obviously it's going to take longer than that. So these times are estimates. But the first thing that I have for you to do is to complete your Unit 4 Part 1 nightly reading questions. That's on Congress. I think the reading for that is about 10 pages, and I think there's 20-something questions. So once you've done that, you can upload it through Google Classroom like you did with the previous unit. Unit 3 questions. Then I want you to go over to Khan Academy and complete the work for Congress. So the way that it's laid out, there's 3 different lessons on Congress, like topics, and then under each of those topics, there's typically videos, an overview of that video, and then some review questions, some practice multiple choice questions. And so I'll be able to check your progress and see that you're comprehending the work that's being done there. And then at the end, there is a quiz that has 5 questions over all of that. So this 2.5 hours would include all of the work on Congress. All right, so once you finish that, then you would go do your nightly reading questions for Part 2 of Unit 4, which is the executive branch, and submit those via Google Classroom. I think that's the longest section in this unit. I think that should take you about 2 hours, the nightly 4 reading, or Unit 4 Part 2 nightly reading questions. Once you've done with those, upload those to Google Classroom. And then for the executive branch work, there are 4 lessons on the executive branch, and it should take you about 2.25 hours. I was getting real specific. Again, that's not with pausing the video. And there are little reading checks after each one of those lessons, and then a quiz that has 5 multiple choice questions at the end of that. Then I'd like for you to go complete your Unit 4 Part 3 nightly reading questions. It's a shorter reading. There's just over 20 questions there. I think that should take you about an hour. And then the Khan Academy work for the judicial branch, there are also 4 lessons. I said I thought that would take about 2.5 hours. There's reading checks after each one of those lessons, and then the judicial branch quiz, just like you had a quiz on the other 2 branches. And then the bureaucracy, which when you do your nightly readings for Part 2 of Unit 4, you'll see that the bureaucracy I've tied in with the executive branch. The bureaucracy are all the departments and agencies underneath the presidency that he has control over. And so I lump that in with the executive branch. Khan Academy pulls that out of the 3 branches. I think it'll make sense to you when you get into it either way. But just know if you're confused by that, I normally teach that with the presidency, but they have it after all 3 branches. And then finally, I would like for you to do the practice unit test. It has 15 multiple choice questions. I've estimated that will take you 30 minutes. I will remind you that none of the percentage grades that you get for this can be used for a grade at this time. However, in the long run, when we return to school, I may be able to use your proficiency on these assessments towards some type of credit for proficiency on these particular units. So like if you were to get a certain percentage, then I could say you were proficient on Unit 4. So do try to do well. I don't think these grades are ever going to actually compute into a gradebook score, but I would, shoot for at least a 70% on these assessments so that I have evidence to prove that you have demonstrated mastery in the long run. If that's what we have to do, I may have to be able to provide something to someone that says you deserve credit for this content, and a proficient score would do that. So I don't know what they're going to do, but try to do your best on this work. So that's what I have for Unit 4. I know it sounds like a lot, but if you chunk this and do a little bit each day, I do think you'll be able to get through it in a reasonable amount of time. Yeah, that was the only stuff I had for you, except once Unit 5 is ready. This did take me a while to get everything together for Unit 4. So once I have Unit 5 ready, I will make that available. I know this is a lot of information and it's probably overwhelming for you. But like I said, take it one day at a time. If you don't get it all done before we go back to school, you're going to have class time to do it. Don't ignore it. Don't procrastinate. I would like for you to try to do something. And if you can't, please let me know. Obviously, we're in a unique situation with AP tests looming that's a little bit different than some of your other classes. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you're not going to be able to get any of this done, also please let me know. I hope that you can, but if you can't, let me know just so I know what's going on. I miss you guys. I hope that you're doing well. I appreciate all of your flexibility. Obviously, this is completely unprecedented for all of us. And I hope that you're doing well. I miss you guys. And if you need me, reach out to me. You can email me. You can send me a text on Remind. I hope you guys are doing well. Love y'all. Bye.